It is about time that we see AD play like the talented AD that we know. And last night, he dropped one of the most effortless 55-point games I've seen in a long time. Like in comparison to players like KD or Bron or like a Kobe, like you could see them working for their buckets. But AD, the way he was playing last night, that was straight effortless. And I'm going to show you all the clips, all the highlights of how he was able to drop 55 so easily. And so let's get right into it. Make sure you follow or you subscribe, you like, you turn on those notifications. Videos dropping daily. Let's get straight to it. Off the rip. AD got his misses out early. He was getting his misses out early. Had that first ISO. Let me go back to that ISO right quick though. Off the rip. I talked about this in my last video about Lakers going to this isolation. This stagnant isolation, I don't think this is the right time in the game to do so. Only 2.5 minutes in, no one's really got a rhythm. AD hasn't hit a shot yet. No one's got a real rhythm going. And so once you get a rhythm going, then maybe you could go to it. But right now, I would say hold off on it. Wait to see it actually get something. He ended up forcing this shot right here. But hey, he's getting his misses out. He's getting the misses out right now. Offensive board. Gets a hook. Missed hook. He's getting the misses out early. Gets his three. He hesitates a little bit. Peep that little hesitation. Peep how he hesitates on that. I think if he would have let that go off the catch and now I've thought about it, probably would have went in. It was already in line as it was. But now AD's about to start getting some buckets. AD started about cooking up. He misses like first three, went 1 for 5. But this just shows you that all because you miss your first few shots in the game doesn't mean that you gotta stop shooting. You gotta shoot every shot as if you're hot, or not as if you're hot, but as confident as you shot your very first one. You gotta shoot it with the same amount of confidence, a high amount of confidence that you have in the gym when you're working by yourself, when no one's around. You letting go every shot with the fullest confidence, thinking all of them go in. You gotta shoot every shot like that, but take the smart shots. Because if you start to think you're hard all the time, always pulling heat check shots, that's how you're going to get subbed out the games. So make sure that even if you miss your first 3 or 4 or 5, maybe that slow start is going to be a setup for a strong finish. So don't stop shooting. Now point guard AD in the mix. Point guard AD in it. That's point guard AD. Took it 94 feet. When AD's going downhill with his live dribble, it's hard for bigs to guard. It is so hard for bigs to guard because he has a little handle. Remember, he played point guard. He had played point guard in like high school, so you see these guys who got super tall and used to play point guard, so he got a little handle to him. And now he's just got size. And now he's just combining the size with his little handle and his skill. And that little hook shot. Another one. Point guard AD. Peep how he goes for the contact instead of trying to go for this gap. A lot of y'all guards are gonna try to go for this gap right here instead of trying to get this contact. Because if you make the contact first, it'll make this gap even bigger. And so now you have more room to be able to get to the lane. And on top of that, the help defender won't even be able to reach you because that gap has now gotten bigger because you made contact to this defender. So always make sure you're driving at some sharp angles and not always trying to go around defenders. Maybe sometimes you got to get through them a little bit and then hit that angle. It's going to be a little mix of both. Point guard AD back at it again. Downhill dribble. Same thing. He attacks that gap, bro. He attacks that same gap. Or he doesn't attack the gap. He attacks the contact a little bit mixed with the gap. And then he gets to the bucket. And Kispert was just too little. Straight up, just too little. You're not going to be able to stop that bump. And now back to this pick and roll. The same pick and roll they was doing against Milwaukee. This shit is OP. It is OP. This pick and roll from the mid post. It's so OP because, like I said before, because they're already in attack range. He's one dribble in from attack range. So he's just LeBron or Russ is going to take that one dribble. And now they're going to look for the lob or they're just going to look for the floater or the layup. It's hard to guard. They keep this up all season, make it consistent. Man, it's tough. Short roll float. He had a lot of those all night. He had a lot of those. AD's literally just playing his role too. Notice how he's not even like, it's not like he has to ISO everybody players every play, or he has to be a super ball hog all the time. He's just playing his role. He played his role and got 55. Seal. I don't know how this pass got through. 80 and 80 picked it up and got the foul, but hey, that's tough. Peep how LeBron was in his dribble bag though. LeBron was in his Phil Handy bag right here. He's in his Phil Handy bag right here. Jill got in his Phil Handy bag for a second. And I don't even know how the hell he got that pass through, bro. Once again, I don't know how he got that through. Now AD got it flowing. Now AD got it flowing. He got it going. Now he can get to the ISO. Now he gets to the ISO with KP. He's got like 16. I ain't gonna lie, he might have traveled right there. Travel? Yes, he low-key traveled, but it was quick, so you won't be able to see it. Boom, bucket. That's how you know you got it going. Fade away from the mid-range. That's tough. That's tough. You know you got it going now. Now, quick thing about this bucket right here. Lonnie Walker could have easily just passed it right back to Russ, and then Russ and AD went to that two-man game like they've been doing all season, right? But instead, if you're gonna do something in the game, just do it. Don't think about it. Don't sit there hesitating, because the more you hesitate, the worse it's gonna be. So be affirmative with your actions and your decisions and your movements in the game, because the more you hesitate, is gonna only lead to worse things. So if you're gonna go and attack, go and attack. But learn if that's not the right attack. Learn what attacks to take the next time. You know what I'm saying? Lonnie just said, "Forget it. I'm gonna go get the bucket." And he'd even keep looking over, because you know when people start looking over and their heads start twitching, like, and they start hesitating. That's how you know someone's hesitating to do something. Lonnie Walker comes back at it again, pushes pace. AD's just playing his role, big. He's just being a big. He just runs. He just runs. So effortless. He's just playing his role. Dimed again. Dimed again. By the way, that is not a travel. That is not a travel. That's just a slow step. It's the same as a 1-2. 1-2s could be 1-2. It could be 1-2. It could be 1-2. It's all 1-2. All because it's slower than the other doesn't mean it's a travel. Now, if Bron had dragged his foot the whole time, but he picked it up a little bit, then it would have been a travel. If he had dragged it, if he dragged it, that's a travel, because he put that foot down. But he brought it up, stepped over, got the and one. It's not a travel, as long as you pick that foot up. Short roll to the midi. He's just doing his job. Right position, middle of the paint, drop off. He's just getting dimed. And AD is such a roll threat that even Bron could get open drives. Like, you would never think that Bron would be able to come off the screen and see an open lane. Like, you'd think Bron would be the priority coming off the screen. But AD's got it going so much, and he's such a threat on this roll, that KP doesn't even want to commit to Bron. And Bron is Bron. You know what Bron do. Bron get in the paint, Bron pass. You know what I'm saying? So Bron got an open lane. KP didn't even contest it. Goes for the contact again. Bump. Loki could have got an and one right there too. Drop off. Drop off foul. He's just in the right spot. It's so effortless. He's just playing his role. Drop off again. Missed the first one. Got it back. Aggression. You see AD this aggressive, you should be scared if you're another team. If you're in the West, if you're the Clippers, if you're Golden State, if you're Denver, you should be scared, especially Denver. Denver's seen this AD in the bubble. AD about to kick in some PTSD from the Denver fans. Y'all better watch out. Short roll. Short roll once again. The short roll, if you're a big man, you need the short roll. Because if not, you're going to always try to jam the paint. Players are going to get charges on you. And there's just not enough gaps sometimes, especially when they're playing drop coverage, to be able to just attack hard to the rim off the roll. So if you get that little float or a little jumper from that off that short roll, that's an easy way to get like 6 points to 8 points a game when the team's playing these drop coverages. Or not even drop coverage, when they're doubling help defenders come over. You get that floater, easy buckets. Now if a player like Draymond added that, man, you could get mad buckets. That's an easy way to get 3 to 4 buckets, 6 to 8 points a game. Easy way. Easy way. All it takes is for you to get in the gym and actually work on the floaters. Now compare this with the last one. Did he hesitate? No, he didn't. He did not hesitate. Caught it. It was a bad pass too. Caught it low. Ain't hesitate. Went straight up into it. Confidence from the bottom to the top of his shot. Do you see AD working hard? Because I don't. I don't see AD working hard at all. He's just doing his job. He's doing his job, and he got a lot of passes around him. He's got Russ diming him, Braun diming him, Schroeder diming him, Walker diming him. Everyone's diming him. Another dime. Peep the coverage. Peep the reads on this coverage for AD to get to the slip. So they're forcing a baseline. Kuz trying to force his baseline. So Gibson's already over here. He's already in position. Because as long as Kuz does his job, the only way Braun could go is this way downhill. So Gibson's in position. And so what AD's going to do instead of trying to slip this to the rim where all this help is just stacked up, he just pops it out right to the three. Barton's like, oh, I'm not going to contest this. Easy bucket for AD. He got it going. Telling you, that pick and roll is one hard thing to guard. AD's just doing his job. He just runs. He just runs. If all players ran hard in transition, you could get a lot of easy buckets. Now, I know you keep hearing me say easy buckets, but the easy buckets is what's going to take the lid off the rim when you don't got your game going. And so once you get that lid off the rim, now you can get into now you're shooting threes. Now you feel comfortable because you don't got a donut no more. You don't got that zero. You don't got that zero in the box score, 0 for 5, or 0 points, 0 rebounds, 2 turnovers. You don't got that zero no more. Getting these easy buckets is what's going to help you get your rhythm in the game. It's not even just big men that need to run. It's the wings too. Because look. Because literally AD runs the rim. Everyone is running to the rim into the paint. Gibson, paint. Other players probably running straight down to the paint too. So now if you're a guard player, you run to the perimeter. Now you run into the perimeter, all these players are in the paint. It's a long closeout. You got to open three. I'm telling you, you just got. Not only do you have to do it in the game, but you have to work on them when you're practicing by yourself. Actually running hard and giving it your full effort instead of just jogging up the court, shooting these slow step-in threes. No, that's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Because you're going to get in the game. It's going to be so fast that all those reps not even going to matter no more. They're not going to matter. Peep how AD set up this cut too, though. Peep how AD set up this cut. Slow, pace. Peep his pace. Slow. Takes that step right. Gibson just sleep right now. Boom. Swim move. You see that arm? Swim move. Got him. Now he's controlling that arm. His momentum is going backwards, so Gibson's trying to move right, but AD's controlling that arm, so he can't fully get back in front. Out of position. Kispert, you have no chance of blocking that, bud. Now, how the hell did he catch that? What the hell, bro? That's how you know league players is different, bro. Like, I don't think people really realize how hard this is. Like, if you took this dude right here and put him into the game and told him to do this, he'll probably tear his Achilles, his ACL, break an ankle, tear his kneecap, and probably be paralyzed if you try to do this right here. Like, cause this is hard, bro. Like, bro. And he finished it. Nah. All right, now this is where Wizards fucked up. This is where they fucked up. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now Braun cherry picking. Braun cherry picking. He was like, you gonna get your dunk? I'm gonna get my dunk too. Boom. I guess this is where LA fucked up too, because they got caught up in the rhythm too. So now they even communicate the matchup. They just having fun. Braun gets a foul, KP gets an and one. Nah, they had a little dunk contest going on. Before Pat Bev shoot this break. Notice how Braun set up the screen. Bring some left. creates a little space, gets back right. Gets back right. So now he can use that screen, and AD is in position to actually hit Bron's defender with the screen. You got to set up your screens, because if you don't set them up, you'll get your screener called for the offensive foul, and it's all your fault, and you don't get any repercussions of it. Hits him with the screen. Boom. Bron splits it. AD rolled a little early, though, so he doesn't have too much space. So that's how he kind of had to pat the ball a little bit through. Man, boom, he got his shit patted and set to the corner to Pat Bev, who shot this brick. And AD was just in the right position at the right time. But yeah, that was one of the most effortless 55s I've seen, just because AD literally just played his role, ran the rim, set the screens, dove hard to the rim, had the short rolls. He barely had the ISO. I only seen like maybe 4 or 5 ISOs. Even if you take away his points from isolation, like one-on-one plays, he still had like about 40. He still had 40 straight off of playing his role. So if you really learn how to play a role and get comfortable with the shots you're going to take, practice them when you're in the gym by yourself, then you can start getting some buckets. That's when you're going to see them points start to add up, see the averages start to go up, because you're just playing your role and you're sharp on them because you worked on them. So if he got 55 off of playing his role, straight up. And so that's the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe, you like, turn on the notifications, and we out of here.